Hello, everyone. Welcome to the weekly reading for the collective. This is Becca from Holistic Honey, and I read for a collective that is awakening and that has been going through this awakening journey for maybe some time now, but just is feeling the need to, or the call to do something more, and to really further this journey along, to put your knowledge out into the world. So, whether you are on the twin flame journey or just an awakening starseed, this can apply to you. But as always, these messages are for the general public. So just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This might be a reading, this might not, or you might find some messages that really hit home. But because this is collective, just listen with your discretion. All right, opening messages for the collective. It's a nice one to start with. I'm going to pull all of them first, and then we'll dive into the messages. I did already shuffle these, but I like to do a little shuffling on camera just so you guys can see. And just so you guys know, this is the shamanic healing deck that I'm pulling from now. And we have the Goddess Guidance and the Keepers of the Light deck. So that's what we'll be working with mostly today. All right, first card, Expect a Miracle. I love this card, Mother Mary. Have faith that your prayers have been heard and are being answered. So right off the bat, I'm getting the feeling that we're working a lot on manifesting right now. So, a big part of manifesting is the surrender part of it, letting go and actually trusting that our prayers have been answered, and knowing that, if you listen to Abraham Hicks, she talks about the vortex. When we have all this stuff in the vortex, all these things waiting for us, what creates resistance for us and actually bringing those into physical manifestation is usually our resistance around the belief that it can happen, and worry around the way that it can happen. So the universe this week is really asking us to just have faith. Let that be first and foremost throughout this week. And even if it's just a practice that you use for this week, and you think about it that way, like, this is my focus. So every time you start to have, some wavering thoughts about something, like how it's going to actually happen, just remind yourself to settle into that faith and surrender and let go. Lady Nada, Heart Awakening. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. Give and receive in balance. Okay, so this is a great card for a lot of reasons. I'm getting two messages. First off, in connection with this Expect a Miracle and the manifestation message I just was receiving, the Heart Awakening, when our heart is open, when our heart chakra is clear and open and healthy, we are giving and receiving in balance. So there's some message around almost, I'm getting a feel of like extreme need or desire to either bring something into reality, or a certain way of life that you're just trying, changes in your life, you're just trying to kind of rush things around and push and ask. But this is asking us to sit back in acceptance and receive as well. And that's a very feminine energy, which I love. I even get that feeling from this card. But the second message I'm getting is for relationships. And this can be more romantic, but it doesn't have to be. That, a lot of times we focus on what we're giving and what we're not receiving, or what we're receiving and not giving, or, like if we give so much to one relationship, but we're kind of nitpicking at maybe what we're not receiving from them. Maybe it's time to take a different look, a different perception at the situation, and look at it with a lens of love and acceptance. Awaken to acceptance and divine love. So if you, even for this week, or even for the rest of the day after you watch this, what if you look at every single person in your life with love and acceptance, the way that the Creator or Divine God would look at them? How would that change how you view your relationship and what you expect out of them, or what you potentially blame them for? We all come to awakening on our own time, and we have to be really, really patient with that process and not push it for ourselves or others. past, present, and future. So for this message coming up with that, I'm getting that we are clearing things from the past, mainly ways of beliefs and being, the way we might have acted in the past, what kind of program we were acting from, which is playing into our present. And the more present we can be right now, we really have the opportunity to change the future, to bring in these miracles, to have our heart open up. We have to really clear the past though and be present in order to create this future that we want. The present moment, of course, is the only moment we have, but that's really important in diving into manifestation and figuring out what we're trying to bring in. All right, let's get a self-care message. What could we be doing this week that would really help us awaken that love and acceptance for ourselves, for others? Connect with fire. Interesting. So this could be very literal. If you are anything like me and you love being out in nature, have been camping recently or anything like that, that could be a very literal message. But I'm also getting, connecting with fire signs, connecting with that fiery part of ourselves, healing the solar plexus, which I associate with fire, which is where our, kind of the seat of how we present ourselves in the world, how we take back our power. It's kind of more of a masculine dominant energy. But that is what it's asking us to connect with, because as our heart awakens, we still have to use those lower chakras to bring things into manifestation. So I'm getting that for most of the collective right now. This week was going to be focused on that solar plexus chakra. So there's lots of information that you can look up if you're not really familiar with the chakras. I'm not going to go too deep right now, but different affirmations you can use, or different types of healing modalities you can use to really open and heal the solar plexus. All right, so this deck is a Yogic Path by Sahara Rose. It's a new deck, so I probably will read the description from the cards I get, but I absolutely love this deck. It's got Ayurvedic, deities, yoga. All right, what for this week? Obviously still hard to shuffle. We have Krishna out of healing. Love Krishna. And Pratyahara. Oop. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so first off, we have Krishna. So I'm going to read the description here. These cards really are so beautiful. I highly recommend, especially if you're into yoga, to checking out these cards. This is what the deck looks like. Okay, for Krishna. God of compassion and love, what does it feel like to be totally enamored, raptured, and captivated with love for the divine? This is the essence of Krishna. You have entered a time where you have realized love is something so much greater than passion between two people. Instead, it is the origin of all life, where everything blossoms. You have trusted in the greater forces of the universe, and in return, it supports you with its all-encompassing arms, embracing you like stars in the sky. Continue trusting that the divine is omnipresent and that you are not only a part of the universe, but the entire universe exists inside of you. Krishna also reminds you that play is a form of prayer. Okay, so I'm getting several messages for this, but the first one, all this whole reading so far has really been focused on kind of giving and receiving and balance, past, present, future, trust that prayers have been answered. We are in a big place of transition right now. And Krishna, the God of compassion and love, is perfect to come out right now, because Krishna is here helping us, really assisting us in this compassion. And I was getting a message earlier, I believe it was from this card, that, as we're along this awakening journey, it's easy to kind of lose compassion sometimes for ourselves, and sometimes for others. If people around us, especially if this is the beginning of our journey, and we're feeling some really intense shifts, it's easy to, expect other people to kind of level up or understand what we're going through. I know I dealt with this, during the first part of my awakening years ago. It was, I didn't really know my place with my friends and family for a while because I was experiencing all these changes, and I had to remember that, that was my path, and that wasn't their path at the time. And sometimes these people come around and start to experience some of the same things as you, and sometimes they don't. And either way is okay. It is our place to do our own healing and do our best on our awakening journey, and through that example help others awaken to divine love and to their own healing journey. But it's not our job to come here and judge others or push other people into it, or harbor this anger because maybe certain dynamics didn't work out the way we wanted them to. That only hinders our awakening. That is not, like, the whole point of awakening, in my opinion, is to open the heart. And that's what we're doing collectively. We've been moving up these earthly chakras for a while, and now we're into this heart space. And so when we are able to actually act from a place of love and understand that only love is truly real, and that's what we want people to awaken to, that's when we start to open up these miracles. That's when our upper chakras start to really get connected with the universe, and we get to manifest things. I'm just getting so much energy around manifestation this week, and that would make sense because I think, if I'm not mistaken, Mercury retrograde is ending this week. I know we're coming to the end of it, and another moon cycle coming up. So, we've kind of been on pause, almost like this rest and digest type of energy. So the fact that we are now moving forward, it's time to take what we learned in this time of rest and healing, and now take it out into the world and do something with it. All right, so Pratyahara was next, and this is under the yoga category. Okay, so the 8 stages of yoga. Control of the senses. Recently, you've let go of some distractions in your life, and everything has upgraded since. You realize that holding on to things, foods, stimulants, or people only keeps you anchored to the physical world. Truth lies in letting go of all that is not you. The daily coffee, pieces of chocolate, social media addiction, or need to buy things. Those were once such a part of your identity, but now have diminished. This is the time to go deeper into Pratyahara and let go of any attachments, even those that are less obvious. Continue to meditate, which draws you immediately into Pratyahara and illuminates what it is you are holding on to. It is only from here that you can listen to the truth within and act accordingly. All right, so this message is showing me that this is for a very advanced collective today, who I'm reading for. These are people who have been on this journey for a minute, or at least they are experiencing some really deep aspects of healing and growth. So Pratyahara is reminding us to, again, let go of the need of things. That message came up earlier too, the surrender part of manifestation. It's ironic. It's like the more we need, the more we're in that energy of needing and we hold on to things. It's like, material things are going to bring us happiness or like make us feel secure. The more we hold on to those, the more it hinders us, and the more it feels like we're just kind of being bogged down, like weighed down. But the more that we can let go and not identify ourselves with either material things that we own, or certain stature or status in the world, when we can really let go of that and listen to that inner voice and let that guide us, and have this compassion and love, with the example of Krishna, we really are able to move forward in this journey so much more. So this is just asking us, and that's, for me right now personally at least, this is coming up as a belief. It's not as much. I feel like I've gotten pretty good about, I wouldn't say I'm a minimalist by any means, but I have really, really let go of a lot of material things over the years, since my healing journey started, and just that need to have them. And when I feel that creeping back in, or certain people I'm around kind of encourage that, nothing wrong with that, for them, but I know I need to take a step back when I start really associating my worth with what I own or what brands I have, or certain, like I said, things, milestones in work or whatever it is. That's not who I am. Those are things I've done or accomplished. That doesn't mean I can't enjoy them. Does not mean you have to stop drinking coffee or having chocolate, but it's just asking us to really look at things with a sense of moderation. And so we're not using anything as tools. We're not, or I shouldn't say tools, as crutches, but just kind of listening to our body and seeing what we actually want. Are we acting out of habit, or are we acting out of divine inspiration? All right, I'm gonna pull one more card. Final message for the collective this week to take forward. What do we need to know about this healing journey? Undying love. Oh, wow. The love you have shared is eternal, regardless of the situation. So for this card, I generally see that when there's a connection. And so that's the first message I'm getting. There might be a connection in your life right now that either just started or that maybe has come back to surface, or that you're questioning. This doesn't have to mean romantic love. It can, but it's just asking us to look deeper. If we're feeling confused about something, I'm getting that, again, we're being asked to awaken to that acceptance and divine love, looking at the situation with undying or unconditional love. But I want to pull one more card because I'm getting several different messages about that, so I'd like a little bit of clarification. What is this relating to? Experiencing grace. Share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. Okay, so I'm getting now that there is a connection right now. Either this is something ongoing, or there's about to be a connection, an encounter with someone. And again, it can be romantic. It doesn't necessarily need to be, but that this connection you've shared, past, present, future. You've shared the past lives together. You've shared things in the past, maybe even this lifetime. But this relationship is going to, because of the unconditional type of love in it, and giving and receiving in balance here, opening the heart, it's helping you open your heart chakra and heal. And it's also helping you experience grace. And this card says, share your gifts with grace. Waves of inspiration and love are coming to you. So really, sometimes we try to make things so complicated, but in the end, all we're really supposed to do, especially in these moments of confusion, is just stop and listen and do things from the heart, act from the heart, speak from the heart, do what lights us up, even if it is not what we think is the most productive thing sometimes. Like if we feel stuck, I'm getting that message too, like to really open that creative passion, that fire, just get into alignment, do something that feels good. Like Abraham Hicks always talks about, just do something that feels good. And the more you do that, your vibration increases and you really connect with the universe in a much deeper way. And then those waves of inspiration start to come to you because your heart is open and you're listening, you're in tune with it. And after all that, remember to expect the miracle. Remember that your prayers are being answered, even if they don't get answered in the time frame that you would love them to be answered in. Be patient. It takes a while sometimes to manifest these really big dreams, and sometimes they come in ways that we don't expect. So just be patient with yourself and give and receive in balance this week. Really focus on that, and what you're giving others, what you're allowing yourself to receive, and you will experience those waves of information or inspiration. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much. I will see you next week.